Today's High Performance Podcast is brought to you by Josh Phegan Digital. It's the only place that you'll find our expansive resource library. Every form, checklist, visual and dialogue that you'll ever need to systemize your business. Available to edit in PDF to rapidly take your business to the next level.
Welcome to High Performance, the podcast with Josh Phegan and Alexander Phillips. Alexander, one of the great conversations is that how do you actually get commitment? I hear a lot of this from agents who are in a position that they're going to auction day. They're just not sure whether or not the buyer's actually going to turn up. And then on the seller side, how do we actually get commitment from that seller that they're going to use us as that agent? You know, that frustrating moment when you walk out of the listing presentation, what do you actually do next? So Alex, over to you. What do you do to get commitment from both buyers to get them to auction day and sellers from when you've done that listing presentation to actually getting the agency agreement signed up?
Hi, Josh. Thanks for having me again. I think let's first start on the selling side, which is the most important, obviously, securing the listing and making sure you've got a property coming on the market. There's lots of techniques that you can use on closing them and progressing them and just making sure that you do get the agreement. And something that I like to do is to ensure that hopefully that they are there ready to make a decision before you get there, and that's asking the right questions before you arrive at the appointment, setting it up that you can actually get an agreement signed or send it to them on DocuSign the same day and get it signed up. But it's about making them obviously feel totally comfortable with you, making sure that you're progressing them on the market sooner than what they're thinking, and getting that commitment by either locking the photos, getting Prue out there to do the styling, mentioning we've got a standout top 5 buyer list. Let's start with those buyers, but we do need a commitment on an agency agreement, running them through the agency agreement, making them feel comfortable, and getting it on the market.
One of the great things that you do is that when a buyer actually requests a copy of a contract, you give them the full detail of everything that they're going to need around what it is that they're going to need in terms of the contract of sale. Here's a copy of the pest and building inspection, any conversation around what they might need to do in terms of a deposit and how that might be payable. Why do you get the customer so ready? Like, I know that sounds so simple, but a lot of agents will say, here's the contract, whereas you're going, well, here's all the terms, and if you're interested, you need to let me know, because if this sells quickly, it will happen fast, and I want to be able to declare whether or not you're in or out.
You've got to you got to in your mind think that everyone needs help, and they don't understand the entire process. Yes, they might have bought and sold, but they might have bought and sold through another agent or another country, another state. They might have sold in London, which is a different process. So you're actually bringing them along through the journey. So therefore, there's no reason for them to go, well, hang on, I wasn't aware of this, or I didn't know I need to get a solicitor review a contract. Like in some states, they do that after. Like where here you've got to do all your due diligence before, and it actually progresses them into being a buyer. And what it actually does is really build trust and faith in you as an agent, that it's so much easier than to push them along on price, because you've built up rapport with them and you've shown care, and it's not like you've actually you've built a good foundation with them to ensure that they feel comfortable with you.
Alex, is that age-old question. You got the auction on Saturday morning. On Monday, a lot of agents are trying to work out who's going to be there, who's not going to be there in the setting of the reserve in a very traditional auction sales process. One of the questions that I've been experimenting with is to say, hey, Alex, I'm going to be speaking to the owners tonight. What should I say to them about you? Just to try to flush out exactly where the buyer's at, what level of interest they actually have. You go that little bit further about conversations around getting pre-commitment, getting people in a position that they're going to register as required to in New South Wales. How do you actually know that the buyer's going to turn up come Saturday if you're running that auction sales process?
Josh, if you ask me about each one of the listings I've got on the market at the moment, if we had the auction today, where you're at, I know exactly where we're at. So, every single property we know, okay, we've got 1 buyer, 2 bidders, we need more time. We're not going to settle it at auction. The vendors need to come down on price. We need to meet them face to face. So we're really fully across, where we're at. And that's, important, when you've got an auction on a Saturday. On a Monday, will you be bidding on Saturday? Ask them the question. Yes, you might be coming along, but are you actually bidding? There's actually no point you coming unless you're bidding. So it's just being really direct, asking the right questions, saying, and then if there's a bit of resistance, and actually understanding what that resistance is. Are they not committed to the property? They're not committed to finance yet. They don't have a solicitor. What can you do to actually then progress them into being a bidder?
And this is an interesting question. You're not always the chosen one. If you're going into a listing presentation and it's one of many, as opposed to just an Alexander Phillips generated lead, what do you do there to try to make sure that you can get out in front, particularly if there's already another agent that might have a more preferential treatment from the seller?
It's just, again, asking the right questions, building a lot of rapport, and actually understanding like what they're actually really looking for out of an agent, and making sure that you actually talking them through your process and they actually can relate to that process.